What's up guys, it's Jansen here and welcome back to the channel. Now this week's video is going to be the first in a two-part series where I'm going to be showing you the steps to follow if you want to increase your chances of appearing on the first page of an Amazon search result, the Holy Grail. That is the most profitable place to be. So when you're launching a product, that should be your number one goal. Now, if you're not familiar with how Amazon's search ranking algorithm works, well, it boils down to one thing, and that is sales velocity. So that basically means how many sales is your product able to make in a certain amount of time relative to the competition. And if you can show Amazon that your product is loved by customers and that it is being bought in larger quantities than your competition, then you will be rewarded by being moved further up in a search result. Now, getting your product to appear on the first page of a search result certainly isn't an overnight process. It can take from as long as 2 or 3 months, but it can be done in as little as 2 or 3 weeks if you know what you're doing and if you have ensured that your listing is fully optimized. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to ensure that your listing is optimized, how to make sure the title, the bullet points, the description, etc. all contain the right keywords that customers are using when searching for the product that is within your niche. And we are going to be doing that by using an awesome tool known as Helium 10. So let's jump into the computer and I'm going to show you the steps to follow to grab the keywords that you need to use when you are writing your listing, and that will hopefully supercharge your ability to appear on the first page when people are searching on Amazon. So before you can get started, you need to make sure that you've got the Helium 10 Chrome extension. I will put a link for that in the description of this video, and you need to make sure that you've got an account with Helium 10. Now, if you haven't used Helium 10 before, I would strongly encourage you to get it. I will put a discount link in the description as well. They do have a free account option, which you can get. But for the methods that I'm going to be showing you, the methods to get you to the first page as quickly as possible, you're going to need a paid plan. And luckily, I've got a 50% off voucher in the description box below. So assuming that you have downloaded the Chrome extension and you've set up your account, you'll need to head on to Amazon and you'll need to search for the product that you are looking to sell. So in this example, let's say that we are going to sell a yoga mat. So we'll search for that. And then as soon as the results have loaded, we're going to click the listing that basically shows the product that is most similar to what we want to sell. So let's say it's this one. We're going to click into that. And then as soon as that's loaded, we're going to scroll down to the Helium 10 extension that's loaded here, which looks like a little chart. And basically what this chart is showing is the bestseller ranking over time. So how well this product has sold over time. But that's not actually what we're interested in. We are interested in this here, where it says keywords. And Helium 10, rather cleverly, has got the ability to show you the different keywords that this product listing appears for. And we want to be a bit cheeky and steal those to put into our listing. So we will click that button, and as soon as it's loaded, you want to make sure that this here, where it says amazon.co.uk, you want to make sure that that reflects the market that you're looking to sell in. So if you're looking to sell in the US, you do .com, Canada.ca, etc., etc. But for us, we're going to do .co.uk. Now, instead of just being shown one competitor's keywords, we want to kind of increase the odds that we're going to be shown some decent keywords. So what I would do is press the Get Competitors button. And as soon as that has loaded, I would be selecting at least 3 or 4 competitors that resemble, that are selling the product that I'm also going to be selling. So we will press that, and then we will select these listings here because they're all yoga mats, and we will press OK. Once you've done that, you should be able to see the 4 listings that you've selected here, and then you need to press Get Keywords. And what that is going to do is basically pull together all of the keywords that these individual listings appear for when customers are searching on Amazon. So we press that, it doesn't take a minute to process the results, And you can then scroll down and see that we've got over 14,000 keywords. Now, obviously, that is way too many. So we now need to start using the filters in order to get that list to be reduced and to actually be relevant, right? Because a lot of these probably won't be that relevant. So what I always do is change the match type to say organic, and then I change position to be 1 to 24. And what that basically means is I only want to be shown keywords relative to these products where the product appears in position 1 to 24 in a search result, so page 1 to 2. So we will then press apply here, and then we'll have a look at how many keywords we've got. So when we scroll down now, we can see that we've got 936 keywords, which is a huge amount, and we should probably still be playing with the filters in order to get that list to a more manageable level. So if your keyword numbers are way too low, if you've got like 10 or 20, just play around with the filters here, like widen them a bit. And similarly, if they're way too high, again, start playing around with the filters, like by narrowing them down. So what I'm going to do is change the search volume to 500. I only want to see keywords that are being used at least 500 times per month by customers. So once we do that, we can see the keywords as reduced down to 40, which I'd say is fine for this type of product. And now what we're going to do is we're going to press export to Excel at the top. So that is part one by basically using a tool known as Cerebro. Now, before we start to analyze those keywords, the second tool that I like to use is also a Helium 10 tool, and it is called Magnet. So go into the sidebar, go into keyword research, and then press Magnet and wait for that to load. And as soon as it has loaded, you then need to type in the most common keyword that you think customers are going to be using when searching for your product. So in our case, with our product, it's quite obvious. It's going to be yoga mat. If you're unsure, I would just say go on Amazon, search for your kind of niche and look at the titles and see what the most common keyword is, and then you can come back and plug it in. So we're going to type in yoga mat. We're then going to make sure that it says amazon.co.uk or whichever marketplace we're selling on. And then we're going to press get keywords. Once that's loaded, you can take a look at how many keywords have appeared. And if it's way too high, just start using the same filters that I used before. So we'll put organic on and we'll change the search volume to be a minimum of 500. If you find that that is too high, you can adjust it accordingly until you've got a decent amount of keywords. So we've got another 37 here, which I think is decent. So in total, we've got about 87 keywords that we can start to analyze. So once again, you'll do export and you'll press Excel. And as soon as that has downloaded, you should now have two files, one titled Magnet and the other titled Cerebro. So what we want to do now is open the Cerebro one, and we also want to open the Magnet one, and we want to combine both lists together. So it doesn't matter which order you do it in, the layout of both is the same. I'm just going to copy the Magnet one, just copy everything, and then I'm going to paste it into the bottom of my Cerebro list like this. So now I've got a huge list, you can see, of 78 keywords, which I can start to analyze. Now, the first thing that you'll need to do is add a new column. So we're going to click the A column and add a new one so it moves everything to the right. And let's just title column A as relevance. Once you've done that, you'll go into data and you'll press filter, whichever program you're using. Just basically, we want to apply filters, and then we're going to want to sort search volume from high to low. And now we've got a huge list of keywords that's associated with the word yoga mat and the listings that we plugged into Cerebro earlier. But you will notice that we've got quite a few duplicates here, so we need to remove those. And the way to do that in Excel is go into the data tab, press remove duplicates, and then we basically want to say that the duplicate value is in the phrase column, this one here. We'll press OK, and it's now saying 55 unique values remain. So we've now got a huge list of unique keywords, and what we need to do now is assess their relevancy, because not all of them are going to be that relevant to our product. Sometimes Helium 10 will pull certain keywords that aren't really that relevant to the product itself. I don't know why. So we need to manually go through and kind of mark each one out of 3 in terms of relevance to our product. So 1 being the most relevant and 3 being the least relevant. And if it's completely irrelevant, so this one here I've just spotted, a rowing machine, I would just delete that altogether. So what I'm going to do now is work through this list, basically assigning tags of 1, 2, or 3 to each keyword based on, how relevant it is to my product. Okay, so I've literally spent about 30 seconds just going through that list there, assigning tags of relevancy. Just to give you guys examples, so you can see number 1, I've tagged here yoga mats for women. Obviously, that's very relevant to the product I'm looking to sell. I've tagged this one here, gym mat, as 2. It's kind of relevant, but it's probably not going to be the most sought after product if somebody is typing gym mat in. But nonetheless, I've marked it a 2. Fitness accessories, I've given it a 3. It's kind of a very broad keyword to use, but it's still going to go in at some point. I've marked it as 3. And what else have we got? So we've got yoga mat strap. Again, it's not really that relevant. It could be an additional item that a customer might want to buy if they're looking for straps. So they might want a mat as well. So I've put 3 in there. But that's generally how you do it. You just work through each one and you just think to yourself, is that really relevant? Is it kind of relevant, or is it loosely relevant? So once you've done that, once you've worked your way through your entire list and you've tagged everything 1, 2, or 3, you'll come to the top where it says relevance, and you'll want to sort it from small to large. And what that is going to do is essentially put all of your keywords in order of most relevant to least relevant. And if we just do a quick sense check now to see if that's what's happened, we can see that yes, at the top we've got yoga mat, exercise mat, workout mat, Pilates mat, etc. And then if we scroll to the bottom, we've got things like fitness accessories, yoga mat strap, etc. So that is exactly what's happened. It is now in order of relevance. So once you have done that, you then need to copy your keyword list, just like this, and you need to head back into Helium 10, and you need to go to a tool known as Frankenstein. And Frankenstein is in the listing optimization search bar here. So you click into it, and all you need to do is paste your list of keywords in, and then you make sure that you've got remove duplicates in, you've got convert to lowercase ticked as well, and you have also got remove common words, so that would be like an, and, etc. And then you simply press process. And then if we scroll up, you can now see all of the keywords that we need to be putting into our listing. So we need to be putting these into the search terms section, which is in the back end when we're setting up our listing. And I'll show that on the screen now. And you also need to be ensuring that all of these keywords here appear in your listing itself when you're writing the title, the bullets, and the description itself. Now, one thing to note, guys, is that you're constrained with the amount of keywords that you can put in the back end, not the front end, the back end. So when you're pasting your search terms in, make sure that the total characters doesn't exceed 250. And you can see here, we've only got 236. So we're absolutely fine there, right? But if you did go over, you would then need to start taking out some of the less relevant results, which are going to be these ones here. So in fact, we could probably even do that now, like Liform, Gaiam, they're probably brand names. Everything else I think we can keep because we are below that 250. But let's just say if it did go way over that, you'd want to be deleting the ones at the end first, because those are the least relevant, and those are also the ones that have the lower amount of search volume. So once we've got our kind of keyword list, you can then simply copy and paste those into your into the search term box when you're setting up your listing. And when you are writing your listing itself, I would encourage you guys to use Helium 10's Scribbles tool. And the Scribbles tool just makes writing the listing an absolute doddle, because it basically will tell you which keywords you have used and which keywords you haven't used. So once Scribbles has loaded, you'll want to paste in the keywords that you got from your analysis after assigning them relevancy tags, etc. And you can see we've got that whole list here. You press apply, and then it is just a case now of writing your title, your bullets and description, etc., and ensuring that you use all of these keywords. So just as an example, we can type in yoga mat for men and women, and you can see that it is automatically crossing out all of the keywords. And that is it, guys. That is the shortcut to ensuring that your listing is as optimized as possible prior to launching. You basically want to get all your relevant keywords into the search term section when setting up your listing, and then make sure that when you're writing your title, bullet, description, all of that jazz, that you are also peppering in as many of these keywords as you can. So that is it for this week's tutorial. It has been a rather long one, but I wanted to make sure that I had absolutely everything included in there when instructing you how to get your listing to be as optimized as possible so that you can cut the queue to getting to the first page of an Amazon search result. So hopefully you have enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please remember to subscribe, because there will also be a part 2 of this series coming. And also, if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. I will see you next time.